Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jordan and today I'm going to be talking about all of the books that I hope to read in May 2022. So filming this, it is currently May 4th, so I'm a little late on this, but I'm currently still reading a book that I started last month, which I guess I could mention here. That is City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare. I don't currently have the book with me. I have about 150 pages left in that, so I'm hoping to finish that soon so I can start on all of the books that I really hope to get to this month. As far as readathons and read-alongs go this month, I don't really have any read-alongs, I don't think. There are 2 readathons that I would like to partake in. One is currently happening. It started May 2nd and it runs to the 15th, I believe. And that is the second round of the Final Book Support Group readathon hosted by Steph from Steph Loves, where you just read the final books in series or continue series that you've been putting off for a long time. So I'm hoping to read some sequels in the next week or so. And the second readathon is the Bookopalathon, which is hosted by Becca from Becca and the Books. This is a 48-hour round that's going to be live, and it's hosted on the 21st to the 22nd. Variations in time zones. I am not 100% sure what I'm going to read for that. That's gonna be a completely different thing. I know we have 2 rule drops so far, but I don't have any books based on those. So we're just gonna wing that when it comes around. But I guess other than that, I will just get into the books that I plan on reading. There's no way I'm going to be able to get to all of them. These are just some that I'm really intrigued to read right now. I want to read every book on my shelf, but I can't do that. So this is just some guidance, some plans, some ideas. So I guess we can start off with the sequel to the book I'm currently reading, as I am rereading all of Cassandra Clare's books right now, 1 a month. That's my goal. We're just taking it month by month at this point. Right now I am up to Clockwork Prince, I believe. This is the second trilogy that was released in the Shadowhunter world. This one takes place in like 1800s England, I believe. Somewhere around then. I don't even really know how to explain this book. I guess it follows your main character Tessa, who finds out she's a downworlder with this strange ability. Obviously it involves our infamous Shadowhunters, Jim and Will. Yeah, I really don't know what else to say about this. It's just chronologically, in publication order, this is where I'm at. I think I should have read this one before City of Fallen Angels, but I got so wrapped up in the Mortal Instruments world that I wanted to continue on with that at the moment. So I might read this one and the next month read Clockwork Prince, and then the following month jump back to the Mortal Instruments series. But yeah, this is just Shadowhunters, steampunky London in the 1800s. I really want to say it's the 1800s, but I could be completely wrong. It's the precursor to one of my favorite series in the Shadowhunter world, which is The Last Hours, which is currently being published, and I'm super excited about that one. But yeah, I really enjoy the Infernal Devices trilogy, and I'm super excited to reread it and get back into this world and these characters that I love so much. The next 2 books I have here would be great for the Final Book Support Group, and that would be a reread of the Inheritance games and my first read of The Hawthorne Effect. The Hawthorne Legacy. I want to call this The Hawthorne Effect every single time I think of this title, and I don't know that I've ever gotten it right. The Hawthorne Legacy, that is what this one's called. These 2 books follow our main character Avery as she learns one day that she has received this large inheritance, but there are many catches. First, she has no idea who this man is who has given her her entire inheritance. Second, in order to receive the inheritance, she has to live in his mansion for a certain period of time in order to receive it. And also, his grandsons and his children also reside in the house. So there's a lot of puzzles and mysteries and a lot of obstacles for Avery to overcome. It has major Knives Out vibes. I'm sure you've heard that if you've heard about this book. I really enjoyed the first book, and I can't believe I haven't continued yet, but the final book comes out later this year, and I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited to read both of these. I've forgotten a lot about what happens in the Inheritance game, so I'm excited for the reread. Yeah, it's just a very fun time, and I really enjoy these mystery books. Another book I hope to get to in May, possibly, that I was meant to read last month that I never really got to. That would be The Bone Ship's Wake. Is that the final book in the Tide Child trilogy? I think so. If not, here is a picture of the correct cover and title. This is a trilogy I was reading for Covers with Cassidy's Backlist book club, and we haven't really enjoyed the first two that much. What the series is about: in this world, these ships are made of the bones of these sea dragon type things. Our main cast of characters lives on a ship of the dead, basically, where they've been sent to die because of some legal things happening, I guess. That's their punishment, basically. The Bone Ships follows our main cast of characters as they figure out that one of these sea dragons that hasn't been seen in years has resurfaced. So now they are having to deal with that because whoever captures and kills that sea dragon can use its bones for their benefit, and it will help them in this war that they have between the opposing island, the opposing realm. That's the basic gist of it. These books don't have enough character development in my opinion, and they're very choppy. Like, they'll have a big action scene that will take place in one chapter and then it won't be mentioned again for the rest of the book. It's jumpy, jumps around like that. But this is the final book. I'm still slightly intrigued to read it to see how the whole thing wraps up. I will not be reading it in time for the book club live show, but I do want to finish out this trilogy, and hopefully I can manage to do that in May. The next book I hope to read in May also would count for the final book support group, and that is Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas, which is the third book in the Throne of Glass series. The Throne of Glass series, if you don't know, which I'm sure you do by now, I've been talking about it for the past couple months on my channel and all of my videos. It follows Selena Sardathian, who is Adelin's assassin, and she's been imprisoned in this mine slave camp, basically. And one day the Crown Prince Dorian, I believe that's his name, it's been a minute since I read Throne of Glass, even though it was a couple months ago. The Crown Prince comes and takes her out of the slave camp and brings her to the capital, where she competes in this competition to become the king's champion, aka the assassin for the king. And while she's at the castle, there's this dark force killing people. So basically she has to win the competition in order to keep her freedom, but also deal with all of that darkness to make sure she stays alive. These books are so good. I love Sarah J. Maas so much. I have read most of her other published books. The only one I haven't is the second Crescent City book and the Catwoman book, which I'm not going to read, and the rest of the Throne of Glass series. I can't believe I haven't read this. I was reading Throne of Glass when it came out, when the first two books were the only two books, and I've put it off for this long, which is many years. So I think it's about time that I finally get to this. I'm so excited, even if this book is very, very chunky. Speaking of Sarah J. Maas books, I also would not mind getting to House of Sky and Breath, which is the sequel to House of Earth and Blood, the first Crescent City book. I read Crescent City earlier this year and I loved it so much. I loved the characters, I loved the world Sarah J. Maas created, I loved everything about it. The plot was fascinating to me, and I'm intrigued to see where it continues in this novel. So House of Earth and Blood follows our main character Bryce as she struggles to deal with this major event that has happened in her life recently, and that event has led her to make this deal with this notorious archangel in the city to find out the cause behind that event. And it teams her up with Hunt Athalar, who is another angel. They're just trying to figure out the mystery, solve everything, figure out what happened, and there's so many layers to the plot. I didn't explain that well enough because I think some of the plot can give away slight spoilers, or it's just not as impactful if you know certain things. I just really enjoyed the first book, all the characters, the setting. Sarah J. Maas is one of my favorite authors, most definitely, so I just want to get to as many books as I can by her, catch up on her publications. So one book that I do hope to read this month for a book club of sorts, it's a local book club, is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus, I believe. I have this book coming to me right now. Basically, it's a historical fiction romance set in the 60s, 70s era. So she works at this research institute in an all-male kind of team. The Nobel Prize winning co-worker, boss, I don't really know, but he falls in love with her mind. Fast forward a few years, she finds herself a single mother, the star of a cooking show. So I'm really intrigued to see how this plays out. I really love books that involve cooking and food. I find that fascinating to me. I'm hoping this one will be interesting. I had not heard of it before the book club said that this was the book club pick for the month. So I'm excited to see some new things, try some new books. Another book that I want to get to this month is The Deal by Elle Kennedy. This is a hockey romance, I believe, a sports romance of some sort. That's basically all I know about it, and that's basically all I care to know about it. It just seems like a fun, fluffy read. I know it's a series of books based on different people in this friend group, and that's always fun. It's set in college, which I love that. We need more books set in college with college MCs. I know a lot of people really enjoy this one, and I've never really read a sports romance, I don't think, so I'm intrigued to see how it goes, if I enjoy it or not. And the last book I have on my maybes as of right now is The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. Yes, I might finally be starting the Mistborn series, and I could not be more excited. I've wanted to read this one for so long, but I just haven't gotten around to it. I've put a lot of thick books on my TBR this month. We'll see if I get to any of them. If you don't know what the Final Empire and the Mistborn saga is about, I believe it's this world where you can ingest metals to give yourself magic powers of some sort. That's a very bad explanation. And I think the Mistborn are people who can ingest all the metals and gain all the types of magic. But yeah, basically, I think like 1,000 years ago, this evil dictator man took over, and they're trying to overthrow that. These covers are beautiful. I want to collect all of Sanderson's novels in this style. But first, I should probably read some more than just Elantris. So hoping I can do that this month. So there you have it. There are several books that I hope to get to this month. I think that's 9 books. There's no possible way that's going to happen. This requires me to read over 100 pages a day, and at this point I'm barely doing that. April was not the best reading month for me, but I'm hoping May is going to be a little bit better. We'll see how it goes. I'll update you at the end of the month, let you know which books I'm going to read for what. I'm going to try to maybe vlog final book support group once I actually get into it, but no promises on that because my vlogging last month did not go to plan either. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have anything else. Let me know if you guys enjoyed any of these, which books I should prioritize, what you're reading this month, and I will see you with another video soon. Bye!